page 55. And truly, many of those amongst you would sell themselves or their mothers in the striving of belief for their gods or tin gods, but each one among you is waiting in vain for your god or tin gods, and their favor and goodness for you, because gods and tin gods are powerless inventions of your own, which you want to use to turn everyone else into your servants or hands/helpers. And all of you who are living in belief in your gods or tin gods, not only are you approaching them entirely in total devotion, but are also following the footsteps of the delusional leaders who truly are your manifest enemies, and are only using you to obtain their own gains. You will always partake of your false belief and its merit that is directed or regulated according to what you are hoping and wishing for yourselves, because all of fulfillment lies in your inner world or consciousness, through the might of which you direct and call forth everything and make yourselves into what you are. The prophets have given you signs or evidence of the real truth and of the true existence of the creation and of its laws and recommendations, but you turn away from the clear signs or evidence that have come to you through the prophets and have been given by the creation since the existence of the earths or worlds/planets and the firmaments or universe, and are ever present. You shall, however, not turn away, but be knowing in the truth and in the laws and recommendations of the creation, so that you may be full of equitableness or fairness/responsibility. And heed the truth teaching, which teaches you to uphold all virtues and be honorable in their fulfillment, because according to them you will be assessed as people of your kind, or human beings, by people of your kind, or human beings. However, anyone who lives without virtue is debasing themselves and making themselves into an outcast and ausgeartet one. Do not wait for your gods and tin gods to come to you in the shadow of clouds and with liberators or angels, in order to judge you and decide in equitableness or fairness whether you will go into the fire of the shadow world, or hell, or into heaven in their paradise, or realm of gods and tin gods. Truly, this will not happen, because you will not return to your gods or your tin gods, because they are inventions of your own, without any power and without any existence and reality, but are only imagined, unsubstantial delusions. As a person of your kind, or human being, your dwelling is the world on which you live, and as such you can only raise yourselves into the firmament, or space/universe, with flying craft that you build for yourselves, in order for you to be able to cross the air of earth and the firmaments, or space/universe. But even with such flying craft you cannot reach the heaven of one of your invented gods, or tin gods, or realm of gods and tin gods, because the heaven and its gods and tin gods, or realm of gods and tin gods, are really only inventions of your imaginations. In you there lives the spirit, which is a minute part of the formation or creation. Therefore you are also a part of the formation or creation. However, your body is of your world, and when you die, then it will cease to be and will not return, just as it will not cross over into a heaven of your gods and tin gods, and not into a paradise or realm of gods and tin gods, but will cease to be. Only your form of the spirit in you is subject to reincarnation, as intended to one day return to the formation or creation, in order to become one with it, although you as a person cease to exist and will no longer continue to be such. Many clear signs or evidence of the truth and the existence of the formation or creation, and its laws and recommendations, have been given to you since time immemorial by the true proclaimers of the truth. But after you had received the teaching of the truth, you swapped this gift for the untruth of your belief in your gods and tin gods. Therefore you have punished yourselves and continue to do so up to the present day. And it will take a very long time until you perceive the truth and understand it, so you will suffer in untruth as unknowing ones for a very long time, and will commit many evil things and bring down guilt on yourselves. Your life on this world, your life on the world, is made so that you learn and fulfill the sense of the life that is given in the swelling, or evolution, of knowledge and wisdom, in fulfillment of love and peace, as well as freedom and consonance, or harmony, which become truth and reality for you, and shall apply to all amongst you. The beauty of all things and signs, or unsurpassabilities, of the wellspring of existence, or creation, and its appearance, or nature, shall appear appealingly to you, and reveal the truth and grace of the wellspring of existence or creation, and its laws and recommendations to you. But there are very many amongst you who scorn the real truth, and those who have knowledge of the truth, but both the wellspring of existence or creation itself, as well as the prophets and those who have knowledge of the truth, stand at your side with their love and freedom, as well as with their peace and their harmony, and are gracious to you, because in your unknowledge you do not know what shameful things you are doing against the wellspring of existence or creation, the truth. Those who have knowledge, and against the proclaimers of the truth, your unknowledge, and your shameful doing will be forgiven, because you have been led into confusion and have to learn. And there are many amongst you who boast in your megalomania and selfishness, and place yourselves in the light of attention of the people of your kind, or human beings, in order to shine before them. But your nature is depraved, and your psyche and inner world, or consciousness, are ill through wanting to shine before the others. And truly your efforts are based on immodesty and in the greediness to make a sensation about your person. But your present existence is therefore joyless and inequitable or unfair, and your happiness is as fragile as moldy wood, and your life conduct is as useless as a rotting fruit. Modesty is the true nature of the true people of your kind, or human beings, who go along in honesty and equitableness, or fairness/responsibility, and who determine their words and deeds accordingly. And it is not possible to trust anyone who raises themselves up and sets themselves above others in any wise. Rather, true trust can only be given to someone who leads their present existence in modesty, and also displays modesty in their dealings with you. Those who fear immodesty and move in true modesty, and therefore lead their present existence in the same wise, they will always stand above those who are immodest, because the modest ones gain true friends through honor and dignity, and the immodest ones, and those addicted to sensation and worship, find their actions are only sufficient to establish false friendship and idolatry by those who are bowing down, or are in bondage to them, who are blind, believingly and sufferingly caught up in false zeal through their delusion of their thoughts and feelings. The peoples of your kind, or humankind, were peaceful communities in the earliest times, but over time they grew apart and became at odds with one another, and fractious and enemies, because they grew apart from the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring, or creation, and the laws of appearance or nature. But there were wise ones amongst the people who lived their existence in a good wise according to the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring, or creation, and according to the laws of appearance, or nature. Therefore they established themselves as teachers in order to instruct the people who had become disloyal and fallible to the direst extent in the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring, or creation, and in the laws of appearance, or nature, to teach them all right things, and how to follow the truth and the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring, or creation, and the laws of appearance or nature. And amongst all the wise ones, a particularly wise one came forth, Nokodemion, who prevailed as the bringer of the message of the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring, or creation, and the laws of appearance or nature, and as their teacher and warner, and gave rise to the line of the series of prophets, and therefore all successors of his person remained at this task from birth to birth, making this their determination, because the wise teacher changed himself into the proclaimer, the prophet, and endured for eons in continuous coming again in a new person, in order to appear in the far future on your earth as Enoch, or Enoch, as the first prophet on the earth roundness in the far line of Nokodemion. And it will be that the line of Nokodemion will be continued in the same form of spirit, but however always in a new person with a new inner world or consciousness, in a sequence of 7 from Enoch, or Enoch, to the new time when the last prophet in the series will complete the work of the teaching of the truth, the teaching of the spirit, the teaching of the life. The word and the writing of the truth teaching has been given by the proclaimers, the prophets, as a teaching in an equal wise, so it is not doubtful or contradictory, but is however passed on from proclaimer, prophet, to proclaimer, prophet, in an ever more advanced form of explanation, given in accordance with your new and better understanding. And the teaching of the truth, the teaching of the spirit, the teaching of the life, has been given to you by Nokodemion and by all proclaimers, prophets, in his line, as a guideline or signposting / leading thought of the life and the swelling or evolution of your inner world or consciousness, so that you may decide between right and unright, as you fulfill the laws and recommendations of the primal wellspring or creation. In early times, you were at odds about leading the present existence, and you killed or murdered and slew one another, and so you were given the truth teaching by the proclaimers, the prophets, and you were given clear signs or evidence by the proclaimers, because you were disunited amongst one another, but the signs or evidence were disregarded and misconstrued and assigned to the evil. And this was done out of envy for one another, because you begrudged the one or another amongst you to be able to explain the signs or evidence correctly. The proclaimers of the truth set you on the right way, and each of you who turned to the teaching of the truth was rightly led and rose in the value of your knowledge above those who were disunited. And those who were connected to the teaching of the truth have been striving continuously since time immemorial to show or reveal to the unknowing ones in the truth the right path, so that they may become knowing and equitable ones, or fair ones / responsible ones. Do not think that you will go into heaven, or dwelling of the gods and tin gods, to a god or tin gods, Because just like the gods and tin gods, your heaven, or realm of gods and tin gods, is only an invention by you who are without any responsibility, but are caught in a delusion, or are striving for a great gain, and to beat you into servitude or bondage and slavery and unautonomy, in order to plunder you and to be able to take from you what is your property and what you have earned and created through the sweat of your brow. Therefore, they use their delusional teachings to beat you into a belief in fabulated or invented divinities and tin gods, and in a fabulated or invented heaven as paradise, or realm of gods and tin gods, so that you will be caught and bound in your thoughts and in your feelings and in your inner world or consciousness, in order for them to attain advantages from you for their own benefit, so they can use your goods and your possessions and the content of your strongbox or savings to lead a life in pleasure and splendor.